Throughout the course, I learned a lot about social psychology. A lot of what we learned reminded me of other classes on psychology, particularly forensic and law psychology. My presentation is on serial killers, which is the same topic that I covered for my final project and paper. However, due to time, I'm going to be presenting a much more narrow talk and briefly just discuss a few specific myths about serial killers and why this is dangerous to the general public. Like all people, serial killers are the product of nature, nurture, and external environmental factors. I, like others, based my knowledge of serial killers on sensationalized media prior to this class because of Hollywood shows like Criminal Minds. This is not how the world works, though. Despite popular belief, serial killers are not all dysfunctional loners. They, like us, have differences in personality and character. We have the tendency to categorize and generalize people who commit violent crimes in an effort to explain what seems unexplainable and socially unacceptable. The myth that serial killers are recluses is dangerous in terms of perceived safety. If we separate serial killers into outgroup categories by thinking that they are unlike us, this puts us at risk of getting harmed. The Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway, is one prime example of this. He confessed to killing 48 women over a 20-year time period in the Seattle, Washington area. His victims are pictured on the slide above. And in spite of his gruesome and violent crimes, he was married not once but 3 times, and he was still married and had a son at the time of his arrest. So in terms of outgroup and in-group categories, he was pretty much like us in terms of family relations. Continue with Gary Ridgway, we will talk about one more myth, which I briefly mentioned before, and this is the belief that serial killers are not like us or that they all have mental illnesses. While many individuals do certainly suffer from a wide range of personality conditions, not all serial killers have those diagnoses. In fact, most are found competent to stand trial and are adjudicated as not insane under the law. It is important to note, though, that insanity is a legal term and not a psychology term. Ridgway also exemplifies this otherness myth. He had a family, he attended church regularly, made friends, talked normally with coworkers about sports and things like that. He also had a son whom he talked to and loved very much. But Ridgway also frequently picked up prostitutes and brutally murdered them. The bottom line is that you never really know anyone, and in order to keep yourself safe, it is okay to have a certain amount of caution when around other people. I certainly succumbed to the Hollywood myths prior to this class and my research project, and so I hope that if you take away one thing from this presentation, it is to exercise caution in all situations, and also be careful of the sources in which you get your information. And these are my sources. Any questions? Yes.
So basically what your research is saying is that we should be skeptical of everybody, no matter how closely we are in a relationship with them.
Yes, that's the gist of it.
Okay.
Any questions, Piglet? Okay, thank you.